Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball and Beyond. My name's Ryan.
My name is Vino.
And today we are looking at the Diadem Icon V2. So Vino, jumping straight into things, what were your thoughts on this paddle?
So, just taking it out, it felt very different from the V1, the Icon 1.
Yep.
It's a little bit thicker.
Yep.
The grip is nothing much to speak about, just a very normal grip. The surface itself is slightly different from the Icon 1. So, I mean, overall, a very interesting edgeless paddle.
Yeah. So one of the differences you touched on was the surface. So we both noticed you got just a hair more spin with the V2.
Yes.
So, that's good that the paddle's definitely improved.
Yeah.
I don't think anything has gotten, everything was enhanced, but just by a minute difference. So I'd say the spin went up by just a little bit. It's still not an incredibly spin heavy paddle.
Yep.
It generates some spin, but it's pretty standard amount.
Yeah.
But there is more definitely on the V2.
So, something I like about this, both the Icons, is it comes with this built edge guard per se.
That's really neat.
Especially since it's an edgeless paddle.
Yep.
I think that's really good because you see lots of people hitting and hurting like the edge. So
and it is a $200 paddle.
Yes,
it's nice that now it is protected.
Yeah, so it is really nice.
It's neat that
so let's go straight off with, how did you feel both of these paddles played at the non-volley zone as far as dinking and control?
As far as dinking, so they're both like 12 to 14 millimeter.
Yeah, so this
paddles.
is a 13.7 millimeter and 11.4. So
so that one offered, you could tell that extra little bit of thickness. This added more control. If you hit it right in the center, you could feel that little extra touch. But I noticed with the V2 that you could hit, it was a little more forgiving, a little lower than the V1. So I think the sweet spot has also gotten a little bit bigger. So the control, it's okay.
Yes, it's as far as in general, I think it's a mid-control paddle. But I think I tend to agree with you as far as the V1 to V2. The sweet spot seems to have got enhanced a little bit. Like on here, like if it goes anywhere closer to the handle or the neck.
That's where I noticed the biggest difference.
Right? Yes. So I think that was the big difference. Let's move straight on to, we touched a little bit on spin, right? Both are not great spinny paddles compared to the rest, like again, in the center range. But even between these two, this felt a little bit more on the spinnier side.
It definitely has more spin. There's without a doubt.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, and especially on the non-volley zone, I would say at the kitchen line, you didn't get a lot of spin compared to other paddles. It played more like a thinner paddle rather than a thicker paddle, get what I mean? What would you talk about power?
So for power, I was hoping it would have just a little more. I'd say it had a pretty typical amount of power, maybe a smidget more than your average paddle, but I was hoping, since the control is it's pretty average, I was hoping it would have just a hair more power, but it definitely hits harder on the V2. So everything, like I said before, it seems like the V2 is definitely a step in the right direction in all in all aspects. Nothing got worse. It definitely hits a notch harder than the V1.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I totally agree with you. I think it had a little bit more power when you try to hit your smashes, overheads, and stuff like that. And I think this is the extended elongated version, and I think that also helped with the smashes a little bit. It'll be nice to see how do they compare apples to apples, like the smaller size. Adaptability.
So I'd say the balance of the paddle is actually very nice. I thought every stroke I made, it feels like a well-balanced paddle. So I like that part of it, but like I said, I was just wishing there's a touch more power into the paddle, or the control is, for that thickness, it's not bad. It's pretty typical. And I think it's not too bad to jump in with, because, like I said, I think the weight distribution on it is actually pretty nice.
And I think you made a very good point, right? We tried another paddle today. It was 8.2, right? Immediately felt the weight. We didn't feel that
Yeah,
yes,
we
this
do
is
have the weight on it.
8.25, right?
Once
it is,
again,
yes,
it's well distributed.
It's well distributed. It's well balanced. So I would say they have done a good job as far as balancing the paddle.
Yep. I'd also say the V1 also was a well balanced paddle. Too.
Yes.
So both of these were well
and
balanced.
that's an 8.0 ounce paddle, and it doesn't feel like it's a very well balanced paddle. So overall, very interesting. We enjoyed playing with the paddle. For an edgeless paddle, definitely something you would like to try. Definitely a step up as far as the paddle goes from a V1 to a V2. Thank you for Chip Shots for letting us record here. Thank you for joining us for another paddle demo. Hopefully we will see you again for another video.